I honestly thought I never would have to make this kind of video. I've been interested in the One Piece card game ever since its inception. When they started promoting the game, I was already behind it. I was so hyped. It was a TCG based on the One Piece universe, and that was already enough to get me interested. So since even before the beginning, I always pre-ordered every product as soon as they were announced. And it has kept me out of trouble for the most part. It wasn't perfect. Sometimes, pre-orders, they get cut off and stuff like that. But I always was lucky enough to pull through and not have that much issue. Well, it seems like I ran out of luck. Hello everyone and welcome to Anything Geek. My name is Zero and today we're talking about stock shortages on Bandai sides and maybe how stores are handling it. Now I know that the availability of each and any set was very scarce for almost everybody, but you have to understand that when I say I pre-ordered things when they are announced, it is no joke. Sometimes I would pre-order a set or a deck or whatever it is that I'm buying. I would pre-order this like 6 months in advance. I'm not trying to be the one that is first to the store to buy the product. I'm trying to be the first one to contact the store to tell them that in 6 months time I am going to buy this. I'm also the type of person that will literally spam each and every stores in my area so that they would buy the game and I can buy in turn from them. But the thing is, we still have to account for Bandai in all of that because they are the producers of the game, and so whether it's me or a store that is in my area, we'll still rely on Bandai to get the game to us. So the shortage issue really is two sides of the same coin, because there's a middleman between me and Bandai, and that is my local game stores. And stores sometimes may not be the perfect ones to carry out the game, especially in the beginning like that, but I still have to rely on them because I have no other way to get the game to me. So first, let's talk about local game stores and how they are handling it. And like I was saying, I literally spammed all the stores around me and none of them really answered positively to the game. Like, yeah, we're gonna follow this and we're gonna buy the game and we're gonna have stocks in. And up until now, I was always lucky enough that I still had stores that were still following the game and doing events, and so I was always able to pull through somehow and get the 2 boxes that I'm buying each sets. I only buy 2 boxes. I don't buy like more than I need, and 2 boxes is plenty enough to get most of the sets. The rest I buy singles. And sure, there is an argument for not buying any boxes and just buy singles because it should be cheaper. But that's where the gacha mechanics of TCG kind of comes in, because you never know. You can totally pull very rare and very pricey cards from any box, which you can then turn into money to spend on the game more. And so up until now, I always managed to get those boxes, but OP06 is gonna be the first set where I cannot get my hands on any boxes right now. And I mean, it wouldn't be that important to talk about it if nobody could get their hands on, because it would just be normal. But the thing is, with the pre-release that every stores is doing, is that people can get their hands on boxes when you go to pre-releases, and I'm someone who goes to pre-releases, yet I cannot get my hands on any boxes because my local game stores, the box that he ordered for the pre-releases and for his stocks, they've just been like cancelled. They're just not delivered, which means that prizes, cards to actually play the game, and cards to sell afterward, boxes you can sell to your clients, they received nothing. So the pre-release of OP06 was turning into just a regular tournament at the store, which is kind of killing the incentive to even participate, because I mean, I'm amongst the people that have to travel like 40 minutes just to get there. And so when I pre-order all those products and I show up for the pre-release, I intend to do all of that in one fell swoop. But for this specific pre-release, there was no boxes to play the pre-release. My starter deck Zoro and Sanji were not available, even though they would go out at the same time as OPO6. And the boxes that I pre-ordered, whereas I already was aware that the 2 boxes that I pre-ordered from the store, one was being cut down, so I would only get 1 booster box, which is already like kind of, I mean, come on, I pre-ordered 6 months in advance, how can I just get the 1 box? But either way, I was fine with it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna figure something out and we can go from there. So I was only getting 1 box, but nothing was delivered to the stores. So that means there were no pre-release tournament, and the only box that the store was assuring me that I could have was not in the store. And now with the store, we're waiting to see this week if the box comes in or not at the shop. But suffice it to say that when you're a store and you're organizing pre-releases, not having any boxes for the players to be able to play, not having even the prizes so that the players could partake in the pre-release, is already kind of messed up. Now, of course, we can blame this on the store and say they mismanaged the stock and the pre-order timeline or whatever. But at the end of the day, they still ordered to have boxes and starter decks and whatever to come into the shop so that they can sell them to players. Yet they didn't receive anything from their distributors. So now we're looking over to Bandai and how they supply the demand to the stores, and we already know that Bandai is doing a bad job at this. And I get that this is business and they underprint the cards so that they wouldn't like burn out all their cash flow with the game, but they have to understand that right now the supply isn't supplying all the demands. And the way you can say this, or rather, I should say this otherwise, the supply is meeting the demand, but it's being held off by multiple individuals. Because when you see online, you go on YouTube, it's on the front page everywhere, when you see that literally any content creator out there, or even like small time people, you don't even know they exist, but somehow you end up on a video of someone filming with their old phones the opening of a literally case of OPO6. How did they get their hands on that? And sometimes it's even like a week before the set is available at the store. And I'm talking about the pre-release here. That's a week before the pre-release is even available at stores. So the stores themselves don't even have the set yet. Yet they are already opening cases upon cases of the game. How did that happen? And of course, once the release date rolls around, you can find boxes and boxes, all the boxes you want on the second-hand market, fetching prices that obviously are unreasonable. How can this happen? There are a ton of players that legitimately wants to play the game, participate in pre-releases, paying customers that are spending on this game. They are denied access to it. But there are also people that just have the money and they want the money from the game. They get to do whatever they want. And just remember this also, if you buy it, if any scalper or anyone buy cases, they know, because there's a trick, okay? The booster box is in a sealed case that has the rarest cards in that case, meaning probably the manga and alternate art leaders and all that. They are at the bottom. So if you buy a case, you just take the bottom boxes for yourself, you open them, you get the rarest hits, you sell them back, you make your money back, and then you sell all the top boxes and you know there's no hit in that. So when you see it like that, it's what's even the point of buying booster boxes? And more so, what's even the point of buying booster boxes in the second-hand market? You know, they're like, the game is rigged. The pull rate is rigged on those boxes. Don't buy from them. So where does that leave us? What can we do, and how should we proceed with this? Well, for the local game stores, I mean, the obvious thing is that don't under-order your sets. Make sure you have like plenty to go around. Like at the very least, don't order less than a case for your store for each set, because you know that people are gonna be buying into the game, so you need to have stocks somewhere. Because that's also something that all the stores that I've had contact with are really not that sure, is the game gonna work? Are we gonna be able to sell those products? So they are tippy-toeing with that, and so that's why they don't really ordered more than they need. So they orders like maybe a couple boxes and that's it. That's just it. So of course, when you get like so little in your stores, well, you're not gonna be able to sell. And if you order like that less of one specific set, don't bother like setting up the pre-release. You're not gonna be able even to provide your players with what they need to play the pre-release, so why bother with like registering for the pre-release and say that you organize it? There's no point in that. But I really thought that with the second block of the game being underway and the first block being such a success, that this was behind us, and apparently it's clearly not. But anyway, this was kind of a rant video for you guys, talking about the pre-release of OP06. Obviously mine didn't go that well. I mean, at the end of the day, I got nothing, and I didn't even went to the tournament. Right now, I'm just waiting on news from my local game store from when he's gonna receive the order that he made and the box that he's supposed to have, so that I can get my boxes to open on this channel. I mean, it's pretty telling that if someone like me who pre-orders every boxes and every set 6 months in advance doesn't even get the chance to open the boxes that he pre-ordered, I mean, it's pretty telling that there's something wrong with how it's handled. So make some noise on social media, tag Bandai and tell them to change things. I don't know, but for now we'll have to make do with that. But anyway guys, thank you very much for watching, and if you're still here, that means the video was at the very least entertaining to you, so please leave a like, share this video with all your friends that also partaked in the pre-release and maybe it didn't went that well for them as well. And of course, as usual, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to never miss anything geek. Bye guys.